Alright, so Atreyos and his gang's adventures keep going. And so does this review series. Following something that was Atreyos the Leader of the Speartons Season 2, Part 10. I was at least interested where the story was going to go next. King Godness, well, he made an interesting appearance. Princess Midas as well. But the main thing that kind of tore the episode down was that it was Nevi's episode, who pretty much has not even been yet a character. But it's not a problem yet. And Part 10 gave Nevi lot needed backstory and made him feel more like an actual person, adding him even an insecurity of sorts, which I kind of get why it exists. I think it could have been used more prior to this reveal, but no, it's alright. And then following only 3 weeks, not even a month, and oh look, we got another episode. And so we keep going pretty much where Part 10 left us, except we are now back in Amorta. So it's Zilaros and... Voi hitto, mikä sen nimi olikaan? And Icaron. Icaron has created his own mechanical wings like he does in the Stick World lore, and he starts his departure towards the island of Jogaton. Zilaros then in hopes of warning Atreyos of this monster, and also hoping that his nephew would soon come back. That was pretty sweet. I was not expecting that, but hey, good work. And okay, this is just a perfect time to go for this side tangent. I already talked a little bit about my Nightwish review, where this comic is pretty much a love letter towards the Stick War community. It's full of Stick War fan-made characters, but also the in-game official characters, and they make up this. They blend in a perfect harmony in this perfect sort of full picture, which just screams love and care put into it, and that is something I indeed call perfect fanfiction. But so, having that tangent aside, this is awesome, I know. But hey, having that aside, we cut back to Atreyos and his own gang. So we appear in a Riptor forest, but there are no longer any Riptors because they seem to gone extinct for some reason. And oh look, we get a perfect Ares scene, because I think Ares has been fine throughout season 2. Season 1 he was a pretty much non-character, but I like him as a villain because he did something that I am looking from a villain. I'm not looking some sort of a sob story. The world is wrong to me and now I'm evil because of it. No, I really don't care if the villain is sympathetic, or if the villain is somehow justified, or can even... I don't care about the villain's personality at the first glance. The first thing I'm looking for is, can the villain challenge the hero? Can he test the hero of the story? That is the most important thing I'm looking from your villain, okay?
Come back.
And Ares was perfect at that. He challenged Atreyos and pushed him to become the better leader he is now. And then season 2 happens. He just isn't dead. I made even his own edit for it. Go check it out. And then, out of plot convenience, he's back. But then Spears attacks, and Ares learns what honor means. Then Ares kind of learns what honor means, and Atreyos offers an alliance to him, but it goes as you expect. It's really flimsy alliance, and it's pretty much immediately broken after Spearos is defeated. But that's one thing I just don't get. if they really don't trust Ares, why they bring him to the island of Juggerton then, with the main heroes of the story? Why, if they really are saying that they still don't trust him, and Ares is still pretty much evil, why the heck you take him to the most important adventure with you? Yeah, he's unarmed and he's shackled, but that just doesn't make any sense. I'm not buying the thing that, yeah, no one else back home wants to look after him. What the heck? Why do you bring him to an adventure with you then, if you don't trust him? And that is why I pretty much thought that, yeah, he's pretty much redeemed now. He's not gonna backstab our heroes, but he's still evil. He still hates people around him. He's not a good person, but he's not gonna backstab them, and he has learned some morals. But I guess that is still not the case. Thanks to this episode. But don't worry, fear not, because King Godson gives really nice scene for him. He wonders why Ares is actually shackled. And when we finally, again, get the answer that he's not to be trusted, and everyone hates him, then Katniss asks, has he ever been even given a chance? Well, Atreyos gave him one, but then others just don't, and then he's shackled. But then they free him, and with one condition, that Ares cannot backstab the heroes, and that is something I love King Godson about this episode, is that he's not in a way that, yeah, we only break you free. We will grant you only freedom if you don't betray us. He just says that he has lost already everything. What else he has? There is no reason for him to backstab us. And that pretty much completely changed him. Not in character ways, but at least in my eyes. And that is fuel for new character arc for Ares. And that is pretty decent. And of course, everyone else also does the same thing. You have no reason to betray us. You have nothing left anymore. Even Atreyos says so. It is not far until Dero ambushes them. And the wounds Dero has are still very fresh from part 7 and pretty much the previous parts. I still stand behind my video about him I made back in the winter, and Dero still has not cleaned his image yet. In my eyes, he's still pretty much incompetent. No offense towards the character concept or the character's original creator. It is just me ranting how he's executed in this comic, alright, but back on point, he hasn't done anything to move the story. And the very few instances where he resurrected Adikai, it was Baron who turned him to his side, and Dero, for some sick twisted reason, couldn't sense Ares. Okay, Ares was not even dead to begin with, but that still kind of does not help the image Dero has. And then there is the failed invasion of Inamorta and part 7. So my expectations were still very low, and I still was kind of, no, don't humiliate him even more, please, no. But this time, they kind of don't run in circles around him, because that was what I was afraid of. But no, this time he even stands a chance, and he even uses the same tricks I said in my rant video about him that should be able to fix him. He doesn't use his own physical strength or fighting capabilities. He uses the numbers he has at his disposal, the soul army he has, and the dead army he has at his disposal, and he uses them to fight his opponents. Kind of weird that he at first tries to solo them, but gets whomped. But then again, it's just a one encounter, and this episode has quite a few of them. Also, then Onyxus arrives, because Dero called him there. Yeah, I'm not gonna call him Darkwing. I voted for Onyxus. I wish to see if it was Onyxus. Wait. Yeah, yes. So Onyxus arrives, and then we have a little battle against him, but we don't stand a chance anymore because the aerial superiority. Until Isaron arrives, and then tries to fight against the Eclipses and Onyxus, but it doesn't succeed because he's alone. And he even steals assets from Minecraft. How dare you? So what about Isaron when we are in the subject of him? Well, he's alright by this very short instance we have of him, but nothing too special. I don't like the way he's portrayed as this overly nerdy dude, because that is kind of a one bastardized character trope, but if it's used correctly, if it's used more subtly the following episodes, I'm not gonna have a problem with that. And well, he's fine. He's fine. Nothing wrong with him, actually. And so that was Isaron. And then let's get back to the water progress. So Dero tries to bargain that I will get your fusion matrix. I will get it soon. But that because now we have two fusion matrices combined into one thanks to Nevi. But of course we're not going to give him just like that. And then we even get fusion with Atreyos and Isaron when they fight against the Eclipses. They clear the skies, and so our heroes can fight again against the dead army Dero has at his disposal. And so we can rush back into action. It's no longer just Dero's dead army versus the important players and Areopike versus Onyxus.
Oh, Sil. Hello, it's me from the editing once again. But, well, I forgot to mention one thing I really liked about Onyxus's and Ares's companionship. That when Onyxus claims that you betrayed us, and all that, Ares then claims, yeah, but what else I have to do anymore? Then Onyxus just keeps bugging, why did you choose to become friends with the persons you hate the most? And yeah, a fair point. But then again, did Ares have a choice? And I love it when he tears his own whole soldier apart and says that you have reduced them. You reduced all my soldiers into this. Because they are now undead, decaying corpses. And now they are significantly weaker. And that certainly does not work for Ares's taste. Yes, that was my word here.
Because all the other eclipses are now gone. And that was pretty much part 11. Part 11 is not all that special, but then again, it's this sort of transition in the episode. And it is just fine as that. And it promoted something I kind of wish it would have. Seen for Ares, more character development for Ares, at least fuel for it. It's just pretty much alright. But please let Dero win this battle. Please, I'm begging of you. I really am. But this review is going to be a lot shorter than the other ones because there just isn't that much to talk about it, because I've already talked about all the character interactions. The Silver scene, it was alright, pretty good, and I like it. There was care put into it. Then is Icaron, well, he's alright, he's fine. Then the Ares scene, pretty good actually. And then please do not humiliate Diro anymore, and Onyxos. And that was pretty much it. What can I say? There isn't much to talk about here. This rate, don't prove me wrong. There is nothing wrong with this episode, but just because it did what it had to do, it served its purpose, and it is fine as that. Really good as a transitioning episode. But I'm still going to do it. 6 out of 10. And this isn't to say this episode was weaker than the other two. Not like that. It is pulled down by its purpose, but that's not the problem. That's completely fine. 6 out of 10 because there just wasn't that much going on for the episode. It doesn't have... It has very little going on for it. But then again, is it really a problem? Because that was not the purpose of this episode. Alright, I think I have said everything I wanted. Well, let's get into top 3 favorite scenes by me. I heard this big green man has given you a fusion matrix. Give it to me, and a great power will forgive your soul. They deserve that matrix from me more than you. Let me give him the first blow, Atreyos. Onyxos! What are you doing with this person who robbed Juggernauts and made them these pathetic beings? Traitor. Who's the real traitor here? How about you? You let us all alone, and now you're with the people you used to hate so much. We got better base than you gave to us. You lost everything, Ares. It is not what you think. You'll pay for everything after I'm done with this. If that's the case, then I'd love to burn this whole forest with all the rifters if I want. Now I'm starting to wonder, who is this guy, and why is he chained? He is General Ares, technically a former general, after his empire fell trying to destroy our own empire. No one can take care of it, so we brought it here, after he allied with us trying to destroy a trader for 10 minutes. Then why did you chain him after he accepted to be your ally? Have you given him a second chance? No, great king is a cold-blooded killer who doesn't hesitate to kill his own innocent soldiers to brag about his own ferocity. And now you want us to believe that we should release him? Give him a chance. His empire has fallen. He has nothing more. He wouldn't dare to do anything. Even if he would, he will deal with me. Fine. I do this because I trust in your words, and as the king of this land, but if he messes again, deal with him by yourself. Hear me up, Ares. Whatever you will do after this, do not ever do that. I won't gonna make anything. You've already lost it. After all, we will face something bigger that we cannot face alone. Then be our ally for once, can you? After we kill Baron, our contract will end, and I'm not gonna remember